Luffy's True Dream. 1071 plus spoilers. I have been rereading One Piece lately and am on chapter 507, Sabaradi Arc. Kizaru just arrived, and have recently made two hypotheses about Luffy's real dream. That he revealed to his crewmates, Shanks, and his brothers, the same one as Goldie Rogers. Everyone knows so far that the dream has to be childlike because of the reactions to Rogers' dream and because Luffy thought of it as a kid, so I came to two possibilities. Also, to preface, I'm not sure if these have been said before, and I'm not really one to make detailed theories like a bunch of the community does so well here, but I just wanted to put out there what I was thinking anyways. First, I believe that one of them can be that Luffy wants to be on the greatest adventure ever. It's pretty grand, but something a child would think of. Also, being the Pirate King is a stepping stone towards achieving it, exploring the Grand Line and learning about the world, finding crewmates of all different backgrounds, stopping villains from whatever heinous stuff they're doing, partying afterwards, and finding the One Piece. Moreover, every arc has a chapter called Adventure in ____ Island, which could hint towards this big dream. Luffy always wants to explore or try everything, despite all the danger that is presented to him and everyone telling him not to. One such example is him wanting to explore the upper yard in Skypiea, even though Connors tells him that upper yard is a forbidden sacred ground where God Enel and his priests reside, and no one must ever set foot on it. In addition to all this, when Oars has Luffy's shadow and desire, will in Thriller Bark but has not fused entirely with the shadow, he goes on a rampage yelling, "Don't get in the way of my adventure," as he annihilates all the zombie generals. We know that Luffy's intense willpower to achieve his dreams overrides Moria's devil fruit for a little while because Haki greater than equals devil fruit from what we learned from Kaido talking about Roger conquering the seas, i.e. willpower greater than devil fruit, I think. In other words, that uncontrollable Oars could have been the personification of Luffy's dreams and willpower, and could have been him saying his real dream without us noticing it. Finally, in the Sabaradi arc, when Usopp asks Rayleigh about the One Piece, Luffy shouts at the top of his lungs that he doesn't want to hear it. He goes as far as saying he would rather quit being a pirate, that is, quit wanting to be the king of the pirates, because it would spoil his true dream of going on the greatest adventure ever, since he'd know what awaits him. He wants to discover it himself with his crewmates that he has gathered from all over. Finally, this chapter comes right after the chapter of Rayleigh recalling his meeting with Shanks 10 years prior, where Shanks tells him that Luffy said the same exact thing Roger said. He simply wants to have the most fun as the captain of that adventure. There's probably a bunch of details I'm not thinking of or haven't yet reached in my reread that could support this theory more. There's also probably a bunch of things that could oppose this theory, but I'll get to that briefly at the bottom. My second theory is that Luffy and Roger want to be the most free people in the world. Again, pretty childlike compared to some of the other dreams we have come across, but also seemingly unobtainable. How do you measure something like that after all? I have less to say about this than the first theory, but this idea just popped into my head during Rayleigh Usopp Luffy chapter as well because of this ensuing panel. Even though his face is kind of covered in both shots we see of him, Rayleigh is smiling at Luffy declaring such a thing. This could be because it reminds him of Roger and his true dream, as well as Oda drawing a small parallel to Shanks in the chapter before, smiling while talking about the same thing. Finally, with recent developments in the manga, we have learned that devil fruits are made from people's desires and dreams. Luffy's fruit, the warrior of liberation, perfectly coincides with his possible dream of being the most free, and people have theorized that awakenings happen when someone's dream and the devil fruit's reason for existing intertwine. Perhaps this shows that Luffy could bring the most potential out of his devil fruit because of this internal desire, thereby really making it the most ridiculous power in the world. This paragraph isn't really as well thought out as some other parts of this post, but I think it's a connection worth mentioning nonetheless. Anyways, if I had to guess which of the two is more plausible, I'd go with the first one. I do still have some doubts overall because going on the greatest adventure ever, some variant of this idea, such as be the head of the greatest adventure with the most notorious crewmates in the world, isn't as crazy as Usopp and others make it out to be, especially if he becomes king of the pirates. Thanks for reading. This was my first time making a long theory like this, so I really am curious to see what you guys think. TLDR. First possible dream. To be in the greatest adventure ever. Second possible dream. To be the most free person in the whole world.